the first fruits of the sleeping. Christ is risen. Indeed, he is risen. We celebrate the empty tomb as the hinge of history, the moment death was trampled down by death. But if we look closely at the Holy Scriptures and the icons of our tradition, we realize a startling truth. Jesus was not the only one who returned from the dark valley. Before the stone was rolled away, and even as the earth shook on Great and Holy Friday, others had already tasted the return. But their return was not like his. On the way of theosis, today we explore the temporary returns and the final awakening. The previews of Pacha. During his earthly ministry, Christ performed 3 great resuscitations. He called the daughter of Jairus from her bed. He halted a funeral procession in Nain to give a widow back her son. And most famously, he stood before the tomb of his friend Lazarus. Saint Ephrem the Syrian tells us that when Jesus cried, "Lazarus, come out," Hades trembled. It wasn't just losing a soul. It was a premonition. Lazarus returned, but he returned to a mortal body. He would age, he would weary, and eventually he would sleep again. The Fathers call these signs divine disruptions of the natural law to prove that the Word who created life had the authority to recall it. But the world was still waiting for the true resurrection. The earthquake of the saints. Then came the 9th hour of the crucifixion. As the Creator bowed his head, St. Matthew records a mystery that often goes overlooked. The tombs were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. Think of the sight. Icons of the resurrection often show the pre-Paschal saints. St. John Chrysostom teaches that these holy ones rose as a royal guard to announce the victory of the King. They walked the streets of Jerusalem, witnesses of a shift in the cosmos. They were the first harvest. They didn't just return. They were liberated because the Master had entered the stronghold of Hades to break the brass gates and iron bars. The patristic distinction. Why does this matter for your path to theosis? The Fathers, like St. Gregory of Nyssa, distinguish between being brought back and being raised up. Lazarus was brought back to the old world. Christ was raised into a new creation. When the others returned, they brought the smell of the grave with them. When Christ rose, he brought the scent of the kingdom. The others returned to die again. Christ rose so that we might never die. As St. Athanasius famously wrote, "He became what we are, that he might make us what he is." The saints who rose during the earthquake were not just ghosts. They were the first proof that the human body is destined for the divine light. The return of Lazarus, the son of the widow, and the saints in Jerusalem tell us one thing: death is no longer an end, it is a sleep. On the way of theosis, we remember that our goal is not just to survive this life, but to be transfigured. We don't seek a return to the old self, but an awakening into the eternal self in Christ. If this mystery of the first fruits stirred your heart, give this a like and share it with a seeker. Subscribe to the Way of Theosis as we continue to walk the path of the Fathers. And tell me in the comments, when you look at the icon of the descent into Hades, which saint do you imagine Christ is pulling out first? Until next time, may the Lord have mercy on us. Christ is risen.